Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the 2021 Libtech TRS. It got a little bit of an overhaul this year. This board features Mervin's C3 camber profile, which is camber 2.0 with a slight hinge point between the feet. So basically it's a mellow camber that comes down, flattens out before the upkick in the tip and the tail. So it gives an easier load ability, so you can just load it with ease, which is still going to retain its spring and snap, but it's going to give you a little bit better entry in and out of turns and a little more playful feel up in the tip and the tail. This board is available in 154, 157, 157 mid-wide, 159, 159 mid-wide, 162, and 165 mid-wide. I rode this board at A Basin in the preseason late in the day, so there was shade making the runs a little bit icy, chunder mounds, push mounds, granulated snow. I found a little bit of corduroy here and there with sunny bluebird skies, cooler temps, zero wind, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. With an overall flex that can best be categorized as just past middle of the road, you get slightly softer tips. And then about halfway to the insert packs, it stiffens up through the middle of the board where you hit the dead center. And there's an okay amount of torsional give. You'll notice that you can twist the board, but overall it's nothing mind-blowing. Now this board is stable to a point. If you go Mach 10 into fully rutted out terrain, you're gonna feel some chatter in the tips and it's gonna slightly resonate back underfoot. But if you're on a perfectly groomed run, you're not gonna feel shit. It's going to absorb exactly how you want. The best way to describe the flex on this board is powerful. You will notice that it does want to rebound a lot when you flex it. The nice thing about a C3 camber profile is that it's actually easy to engage. You don't really have to fight it to load it, but when you do load it, you get spring and snap. And that's what this board has. So you load it up and you notice that rebound and it's gonna pop. Now, I did send some rollers and some side hits a little bit bigger than I thought. Unfortunately, as it was preseason, there weren't really any jumps I could hit, so there's this weird hip spine feature, and I figured out how to just kind of use it as a launch ramp. This board popped off of it with ease. You could just snap up off the lip and just send it down. I wouldn't hesitate to hit a small, medium, or even a large jump with this board because that's obviously what it's designed for. Now with this being C3 and having that slight flat section in the nose and the tail, that gives you a platform to butter on. Is it the easiest platform to engage with? No. It's going to fight you a little bit. So be prepared to muscle it. You want to get your weight out over the nose or the tail, and a little speed goes a long way. Just be prepared that you're not going to finesse this, you're going to muscle it. And the same can be said with jibbing. You want to go a little bit faster and press a little bit harder. Nose and tail presses, it locks in, but there's going to be snap and it's going to spring you out. When you get sideways on a feature, the C3 will hug it a little bit, but it doesn't fully like clap around it. So be prepared to be kind of teetering and tottering on there as you balance your board slides. Like I said, speed is the key here. This board is quick and nimble from edge to edge. You notice that the transition is very smooth from toe to heel. Now what I will say is there's a limiter on this when you try to rail a carve with it, and you'll notice that right away. When you engage it, you'll lay it over, and as you lay it over and you start to drive it off the tail, it wants to kick out or it won't fully engage any further. It makes you sort of lock in for these more elongated carves than these really deep, hard, aggressive, tight carves that spring you right back out. So with that said, you kind of have to pick and choose how you're gonna carve with it. Are you gonna try to lay a trench and hope that it holds on and doesn't kick you out? Or are you gonna go into it and know that it's gonna kick you out so you spring out of that turn a little bit more aggressively and then transition over to the other side? I will say, however, that I think that short, tight, quick carves and medium, mellow to mellow, hard carves are its real strong suit. So who's this board for? The high-end free ride focused rider, someone that needs a little bit beefier of a board and is gonna push it just a little bit harder. So it's been a while since I've been on the TRS, and I like this version more than the last previous ones I've been on. They softened it up a little bit, they merged the hot knife into the lineup with it. It's just a little bit more mellow in the tips, which is what it's always needed, but it still retains that powerhouse you want right underfoot. It's damp yet lively. it's just a well-balanced, high-end freestyle twin. And that's what the TRS should have always been, in my opinion. And with the C3 camber profile, the construction, the magnet traction, you kind of get a perfect blend of all that in one. Comparable boards: the Jones Ultra Mountain Twin, the Capita Super DOA, the Ride Helix. This has been my review of the Libtech TRS. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you gonna buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really want to support us and just help us grow out what we're doing over here, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.